We're live. All right, good to go. All right, back to project diagnosing 2015 Honda CBR300F. We can go ahead and do one more series of tests. I want to sleep a little bit better at night, knowing that I diagnosed this thing correctly. So I'm pretty confident. I feel like the engine's locking up, but it could be something as simple too. Sometimes, we get a little over ourselves. Could be as simple as like a battery or maybe a bad starter motor or a bad charging system. So we're going to go ahead and just start with the basics. Let's see if we can get this thing started and check its starting voltage, and then also check its battery voltage while the bike's running. That'll kind of give us a good indication of the charging system and its output. Okay, and if you watched the last video, this thing was just eating up batteries, and I feel like that's because the motor was locking up, but we're going to find out right now. So let's go ahead and get batteries all nice and hooked up. Okay. So really how this thing's charged up to 14 volts right now? Well, it's possible. Okay, let's go. So ignition run switch off. Let's go ahead and go key on. A little drippy drop. Okay, that's closed. Go ahead and go prime the system. All right, and fire her up. Oof. Okay, so right off the bat, motor doesn't want to crank over. I have a feeling, I wonder, because we're doing tests last night, it might have already, I think it might have stopped in the fail position. So that's what I wanted to see. So how can I want to basically pull the spark plug out of this. This battery voltage looks pretty solid. Yeah, I got 13 volts there. It says I'm fully charged. Makes sense. Open it and close the circuit. Yeah, it says it's fully charged, so I mean it's doing something. I want to see if I can spin this thing over by hand. That's basically like, if it keeps locking up, then there's no point of doing these other tests I was going to do. So I know I have a good charged battery. Oh, you know what? Maybe what we could do, let's try a voltage drop test while we're at it, because that's what I really want to check. So let's go ahead and get our spaghetti wires untangled here. So battery right now, 13 volts. So check this out. We'll come over here to that side of the bike where the starter motor is. Let me go get a light. Okay. See what we got going on here. Some bitch. All right. So this is for right here. There we go. Get access to that. Let's do a voltage drop test. So we'll go ahead and let's see. I might have to leave my clamp on there so I can do this so you guys can watch the video. Well, that's interesting. I got 13 volts there when relays. That's weird. Why is it doing that? Got 0. Okay, so from the starter relay, so let's see, where's that other? That's from positive. So from battery positive to the starter relay, it's only about half a volt is what I was getting. But if I check down here, that was weird that I was getting 13 volts. Oh, did my battery just die? Oh yeah, it just killed my battery. What's going on here? Son of a bitch. Well, that's the second time. That's weird. I wonder why it keeps doing that. Did it fry a battery or is the battery going bad? We got the customer's battery because it'll like do it. I mean, usually these lithiums don't typically do that. And I was noticing I was getting 13 volts right now when I was doing oh yeah, this fucking thing's hot. So I'm thinking that starter motor is grounded out. So let's see, drain all the battery voltage. Let's see here, disconnect that. Yeah, I only got 1.5 volts. Let's get some CPR measures going on this battery. Did I just short it? What's going on here? Give me some life. Oh, that's not good. Ooh, these things are hot. There it goes. For whatever reason, it didn't want to charge on that lead. Huh. Let's see here. Interesting. What's going on here? And just like that, it's full again. That's weird. I bet it'll crank over just fine. Yeah, these leads are pretty hot right now. So I kind of want to see. We could have a bad starter motor. That's kind of what it's leaning towards because my battery's doing pretty good. Instantly charged back up, fully charged. It's kind of weird that it would drop that quick unless it had like, a couple bad cells, but it's cranking it over so good. I have to check. It was kind of doing the same thing with the customer's battery, and this was like a brand new battery, and I fully charged it, and it has almost 13 volts. So we'll see. It was causing like a major voltage drop. So I'm thinking it's that starter motor, and the only thing that would cause that two things is if this motor's locked up, and maybe the customer, like I think they put a brand new battery, and they were just trying to crank over a locked up motor, and that may have shorted out the starter motor. So let's go ahead and basically at this point, we can go ahead and double check that. I'm going to drain the fuel out. And let's go ahead and get the fuel system taken off, because I'm basically not going to, I'll just hook up the bike and run it off its fuel line now. The fuel pressure was good. We had 45 PSI on this thing, right up there, almost 50. It was like 47 main constant. This thing would actually start up and run good, and then it would just shut off. It would like almost bind up. So I don't think it's I got good compression. I have spark. I have good fuel pressure. It seems like it's more of a charging system issue, but when I checked the stator output, it was low. We're getting only like originally 13 volts AC output off the basically at the rectifier plug here, and you could check it at this plug too. This is like more direct. These are the wires that come directly off the windings on the stator, these gray ones here, that basically if you trace that down, that goes right here into your stator. I think that's like a neutral switch wire or something like that. But yeah, let's go ahead and get this taken apart here, because technically we don't need to do this anymore. So go ahead. We need to see if we can kind of try to let this stuff dry out, so that way it's not just sitting in the lines here. There's little Schrader valves inside. So kind of like, just to get the fuel out. It's like most of it's almost there. Just so you store your tools properly. Actually, go ahead and put this inside the case. So basically what I want to do now is I want to find out if this motor's locked up, because it won't crank over. So let's see here. Go ahead and remove one of those clamps right there. Just like that. And then removing it, kind of got to be careful so we don't break the fuel line fitting. And just like that. Pretty straightforward. Take that off right there. Okay, then we have, kind of just drain that. Okay, custom inline fuel pressure tool, so we can check fuel pressure on the bike. So basically at this point, disconnect the fuel pump switch right here. Kind of hard to do it single-handedly. Basically disconnect that. And in theory, this gas tank should just come right off. Carefully set it down. Okay. That gives us access here. right, sweet. Cool. So go ahead and just wipe that down a bit. So before we put the other fuel line back on, I basically want to crank this engine over. So we'll go ahead and pull out the spark plug here. It's tight. It's the best when it's tight. There it is. Okay. There's a little hole right there. Kind of see it. Yep, spark plug's in there somewhere. So go ahead and get one of these set up. Yep, it's almost there. You can feel it. No, it looks okay. A little bit of crud on the tip over there, but on the electrode should be fine. So, my battery now. It's so weird that why do we have such a big voltage drop across the batteries? Okay, so fully charged. I want to see if I can rotate this thing over. Haha, motherfucker. Look at that. I have the spark plug out. This thing should fucking. Oh, yeah, it's fucking seized. Ah, that's what I was looking for. Hell yeah. This thing should rotate no problem. Definitely something in the motor is locking this bitch up. So this is what I had to do last night. I had to get a little bit more leverage on it. Yeah, this motor is for sure something came apart because I was looking inside and there's like brass shavings right here. So we're gonna go ahead and drop the oil and we're gonna see what our oil looks like. I'm gonna wipe this out and let's take a look here. So let's go righty tighty first so we don't loosen up this bolt. Oh, there it goes. It's fucking seized. Oh, I can feel it. Oh, without a doubt. Oh, wait. There it goes. I just unseized it. Oh yeah, this thing's fucking seized. There's something came apart. You could hear it ticking too. So I bet you right now, this thing is like it's kind of smooth. Can I hear anything? Oh, it starts to lock up right there. Oh, something's locking up. It's locking up. Oh yeah. Oh, son of a bitch. I just figured it out. Motor's locked up. What exactly is causing the motor to lock up? That's a good question because we had good compression. So that means our piston, cylinder, valve train, all that's pretty good. I have a feeling something came apart on the stator. Maybe the customer changed their own oil. Let's go ahead and pull the oil. Let's pull the drain plug out and see what's going on here because this motor right here is locked up. It should not be this hard to. You could hear it. It shouldn't be this hard. So probably what happened is customer put a brand new battery in and probably shorted out and damaged their starter motor and relay by trying to crank this thing over because the motor seized 100%. This motor is locked up seized. What's actually causing it? I don't think it's the top end, because the top end I had good compression reading. When it's cold, it seems to run good. If I get it really hot, it like kind of locks up. And I was doing a lot of running on it last night. I was able to get it running, and then I break it free. So I'm wondering if obviously the damage has already been done, but obviously it's the fact that it's like really seasoned up right now. It maybe it kind of more damage has resulted, but customer kind of was didn't really want to put a lot of money into this project. So let's go ahead and drop that drain plug, and let's see what the oil looks like on this thing, because they changed the oil probably thinking that changing the oil sometimes will fix the engine, but that's usually not the case. Once the metal on the bearings comes out, you can't put the metal on the bearings back on. The engine oil doesn't do that. Common misconception typically. But let's see what we're working with here. It's a 12 millimeter bolt right here. You can kind of see it like right in between the kickstand right there. It's facing downwards. Anyways, we'll throw a, this is an oil change video. In theory, we'll go ahead and crack that son of a bitch open. Let's see what we're dealing with here. I have a feeling there's going to be metal shavings all over the place. Oh yeah, look at that. Woo! Look at that. Oh, this thing is fucked. Look at that. Look at all that fucking metal. Look at all that glistening. Oh, this thing is fucked. Oh yeah, baby. Look at that. Hold on. Woo, talk about excitement. There we go. Should just drain the oil from the beginning, but I wanted to make a YouTube video out of it. Look at all the metallic in there. Oh yeah. Hold on. There's another test we can do. Yeah, we got Richard Hammer. Wow. Yeah, no, this engine's fucking toast. Good old magnetic. So you can see there it's pretty relatively clean. It's aluminum. Oh, wait, what do we got there? This is that crank? Is that crank shavings? Because aluminum isn't, it's non-ferrous, so aluminum shavings inside the case aren't going to be picked up with the magnetic hand. But definitely crank, bearings, as long as they're not brass or babbitt, gears, that kind of stuff. Anything with iron in it is going to be picked up. Oh yeah. It wasn't like that a second ago. Look at all that. Look at all that. Chain and rings. Chain and rings. What chain? Like cam chain, maybe. I'm thinking it's on the stator side, but I don't know. I could be mistaken. Who knows? Chain rings like cam chain tensioner. Oh yeah, this thing is absolutely toast. Engine's coming apart and seizing up. So that's our diagnosis on this thing right here. I was gonna go ahead and do a voltage drop test, but I think the starter motor or the starter relay is damaged from this engine being locked up, and the customer put a new battery in and trying to crank it over. It probably damaged the starter motor. But the main culprit, the main issue is the motor itself is actually seizing. Either I heard it ticking inside when it was running. So who knows exactly what happened? If it was ran low on oil, if that was like bottom end bearing I was hearing, it's really hard to say what exactly happened without knowing. This bike probably wasn't serviced at a shop. It was probably serviced at home, and that may have contributed to its failure. We'll never really know, but we can now at this point 100% say, without even tearing into the engine, it's basically run all these tests. The bike does run, but the engine is starting to lock up and seize, and it just seized on us again, where it's like really hard to spin over with the spark plug out. So at this point, I'm confident I could go ahead and tell the customer, hey, if you want to, I'm pretty sure because the top end's good still. So we don't know if it's the bottom end. It's probably not worth rebuilding unless they want to put a lot of money into this thing. But if say it's like something on the stator side, maybe the clutch side, if it's transmission, the engine still has to completely come apart. So it all depends exactly what condition or what failed that's making that ticking sound and what caused all those metal shavings in the oil. So at this point, there's really nothing else we can do. There's no point of, fuel pressure's good, compression's good, spark's good. Pretty much something came apart on the inside of the engine. We can give the customer a good diagnosis without, oh, hey, let's replace your fuel pump and your battery. And, that's the reason why your bike's not running. No, we already checked. All that's working. The engine's actually seizing and locking up. That's what's going on here. Why that actually happened, I don't know. I'd have to take apart the engine and actually figure out. But my speculation is probably ran low on oil, didn't do an oil change correctly, all sorts of factors. Took apart something on the engine cover that I don't notice and put it back together incorrectly, and then wrote it. There's all sorts of things. But yeah, what do we got here? We got Ezekiel Wood. Hey man, I'm 13 years old and saved for 2 years for a bike and buy a CRF 250R and was wondering if you can help me raise money for a clutch play. I'm well overdue and have a sticky clutch. Yeah, man. If you have a GoFundMe or something like that, let's hear it. Everybody go donate to this 13-year-old so he can go get a clutch. Hopefully, it's not it's actually a legit 13-year-old and not one of those people from like Saudi Arabia or India or whatever trying to do a scam. But yeah, that more than likely could be an issue. What's going on with this bike here is engine ran low on oil and basically it's starting to lock up and seize. So yeah, no point in recommending, valve adjustment, throttle body clean, fuel pump, spark plugs, new battery. None of those things are going to fix the main issue, which is basically this engine is, who knows, something on the inside is coming apart. So we're going to keep the diagnostics where it's at and put the bike together for the customer so they can do something with it. But rest assured, now I'll be able to feel a little bit more confident after documenting this and running through it one more time. I was like 90% positive that the engine was locking up, but it could be maybe the charging system. But now I'm 100% sure the engine is locked up, and probably from the engine being locked up and the customer trying to crank over the bike so many times, it probably damaged the batteries and damaged the starter motor and starter relay. So this bike right here needs a lot of work to it right now. Pretty at this point, if they wanted to proceed, they got the bike supposedly for like a good deal, cheap price, and probably the amount of money and labor that would take in parts just to fix this thing, an internal issue, is probably get two more of these if they could find another good deal. So that's the thing that's hit or miss about these bikes here. And this one has relatively low miles too, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if I can get the miles on it. Miles is, we got 18,618 miles. So not even 20,000 miles on this bike yet. And this thing is pretty much going to be a parts bike at this point if the customer, didn't want to get another engine for it. So that's pretty much it. At this point, we could probably just put the bike back together and get it ready for the customer to pick up, and then tell them the bad news. Sometimes that's the thing that sucks, is being the bearer of bad news. Sometimes you got to tell people, they bring it in for diagnostics and we're all hoping the best. I'm hoping to get some work out of it. And, we end up figuring out like this engine right here this engine's toast and has a little bit more damage than what I would expect. So it's probably not from an economical standpoint, it's not worth rebuilding for the customer. It's going to cost them a lot. Be better just find another good a good bike, and rock and roll from there. So we'll go ahead and put this thing back together for them. Pretty much get this so that way they could pick it up. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Drain plug right here. And we're just going to put the drain plug in so it doesn't leak all over the place. And we'll actually pour the original oil back in it too. There's no point in putting fresh oil in this thing. There's metal all inside the engine. It needs to be taken apart, not have an oil change. So that may have been the reason why the customer kind of went that route. They probably saw the metal in it and thought, you know, it needs an oil change. But this bike right here needs a lot more than just an oil change. Probably needs a new bottom end or a new transmission, depending on exactly what's going on. And maybe that could be another thing too, you know. But we don't even really need to go that far at this point. So typically don't do this, but it's not going to really hurt. It's not going to hurt anything. It's okay. I want to hear in the comments, does this hurt the bike? I don't know. What do you guys think? Does this hurt the bike right here? I don't know. I mean, I guess you'd want to do this. You don't want to just leave it empty because essentially the inside of the engine will rust if you did want to rebuild it. If at least, oh wow, look at all that. Holy shit. Oh, holy Jesus. Oh man, I almost dropped the oil container. Look at that. You guys want to go gold mining? Holy cow. Yep. Another CBR300 bites the dust. Look at that. That's like connecting rod. That's lower bottom end bearings. Probably the crankcase bearings that hold the crankshaft. That's why it's locking up. Look at that. That's not magnetic either. That's brass. So it's probably safe to say this engine is DONE. Next question: Does pouring the Babbitt material back into the does that hurt the engine? We got David Hoare saying hi. What's going on, David? All right, sweet. All right, so yeah, wow, look at that. Yeah, this engine is absolutely toast. Yeah, that is a lot of glitter. So that, yeah, who knows? Who knows what happened exactly? But we'd have to take apart the engine at this point, and we're probably just going to keep it as is. Put the oil back, put this thing back together, and customer can come pick it up. At this point. So yeah, we'll give them back their batteries and stuff. Make it a little easier on me. Maybe we can give it back to them so they can return them. Who knows? And it's always good just figure out exactly what's going on with the bike. We're not guessing. We're making you know, professional evaluations of the bike basically. So we don't need any of this setup anymore. Get my battery out of here. Yeah. That's cool. Usually I don't, you know, get a, sometimes it happens quite a bit more often than you think, especially as a backyard mechanic. Get a lot of bikes with locked up engines, you know, blown motors. Oh no, my snap-on meter. Getting pristine bikes, you know, typically if the customers want to invest and fix them, that's, you know, typically the route that we end up going. You know, most of the bikes I get need like overhauls, a lot of work. So this kind of fits into that category. Customer will buy a bike, ride it around, blows the motor. Now we need it. Yeah, exactly. It's a rolling frame pretty much. Big boom is what happened. Yeah, exactly. It's a rolling frame. So this, essentially, it's a parts bike at this point. Unless you want to like throw an engine inside of it, then we just got like engine parts. You gotta rebuilding engines costs a lot of money, and you gotta know what you're doing. Need special tools. All right, cool. So we're gonna go ahead and kind of clean up a little bit. So now that we have an idea what's going on, this is the customer's bike blown up. Okay, battery brackets. There we go. Battery brackets in place. Cover the starter relay. So yeah, if customer want to basically replace the motor, the starting system, probably a lot more than what this bike's worth. So go ahead and throw this spark plug back in. Hey Ezekiel, this channel is mainly for motorcycle related questions. So as much as I'd love to help you, brother, I understand you're 13. You're gonna have to find another YouTube video to get those questions answered. Okay. All right, cool. So we're gonna go ahead and drop the spark plug back in, get the spark plug tightened back up. It's a little tight in here. Okay. All right. Okay. And now let's see, that was hooked up like that. So you got that on for the rectifier. See, I want to say that was pretty much it. That went like that. This goes on the fuel tank. I think there's another, yeah, this line right here. This one just went to the bottom, these two bottom of the fuel tank, bottom of the fuel pump. So we need to put that bad boy on. So, do I need to spread them to get them back on too? No way. Interesting. Let's see. That kind of makes sense. You gotta spread them to get them apart. You gotta spread them to get them back in. And I think I need another. Oh, it's a little bit of a bitch. It's just as hard to get it off. But I didn't imagine it being this hard to get back on. And we don't want to break it. Hmm. Just clip right into place. So there's actually a special tool for this right here. Does this have to be completely removed? Kind of like that. Without the retaining clip on the top. I see. So you gotta spread these out wide enough, but carefully. And I should be able to slip all the way on. You almost need like a. Tried using my electrical terminal tool, but it just wasn't. Ah, there we go. Son of a bitch. You gotta spread them out just enough. And then this right here. Thing ain't fucking coming out. Oop. Okay, there we go. Bam. Got that lower line connected. So same thing with the upper portion of the gas tank. Probably gonna be a bitch. Ugh. So let's see if we can. See if we can kind of pop it up a little bit. So you might be able to pop it up. Okay, bam. Looks relatively safe. Can hook that up. All right, cool. So time to get the other side connected. This should be fun. Oh. I have to lower the tank a little bit. Or maybe I should have attached that side first. Son of a bitch. So I think that's what I did. I took the gas tank off first. Whoops. See, that's what happens when you make YouTube live. Sometimes forget order of operations, but not a big deal. I mean, what's the worst that could go wrong? The bike's already blown up, so can't blow the bike up twice in the condition it's in. Let's see if we could at least get this fixed so it's not. Ooh, I kind of got that stuck on there. I might have to take it off on the other side again. Whoops. Oh, this is gonna be fun. See if it just pops off. Oh, figures. Shoo! All right, fun. So I kind of switched up the order. I was supposed to put the fuel line onto the tank first and then down here. And in the process, kind of the fuel line isn't all the way on correctly on the upper side. Not a big deal. Once again, this is raw. Usually I notice when I'm not making lives, just kind of rock and roll through it a little bit smoother. When I try to like get the right video and camera angle, it's kind of you know, it's usually not as accurate. But either way, maybe I don't need to take it off. Let's see if I can absolutely try. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. So that's all we needed there. So maybe, perfect. Just kind of afraid I was gonna have to take off the bottom one. Jesus. All right, cool. We'll save that for the next mechanic. So we'll put this back on. There we go. And I think we should have one more around here somewhere. I couldn't have gone that far. Oh, here it is. Okay. See this one right here coming from the back side. These things are a fucking bitch. There we go. Let's see. Check that clip. Oh. That clip wasn't going in the right direction. Thought it was, but it wasn't. Well, let's see here. Oh no. Did we lose it? Sweet. Let's see, where did it go? Probably heard it fall. Interesting. Yeah, YouTube Lives. Let's see. Fucking Honda. Ready to disappear too. Aha, I see it. Let's see if I can get it. Get it right and then put it in right the first time. It's like, right. Oh, just fell. Oh, here we go. Got it. Okay, let's try to put this thing in right. There we go. Still being kind of having one hell of a time getting this clip in there. There we go. Fuck. There we go. Now it fits. Yeah, that's just kind of how it is when you work on older bikes. Even when you work on them all the time, everything, you know, kind of be a bitch. Oh, hey, Elizabeth's in here. Okay. All right, so basically everything should be hooked up again. What's going on? Working on bicycles. Okay, I think that's good. Let me connect this for the customer really quick. Let's see here. Let's make sure that it doesn't leak fuel all over the place. And I'm not going to try to start it just so I can save this battery. They can go ahead and drain the battery themselves if they'd like. Oh, my sister found a pig in the creek? No way. I want it. Serious? What kind of pig? Like a bacon kind of pig? Black, huh? All right, hold on. Let me finish putting this bike together really quick. Go get the pig. You guys aren't messing with me? Oh, that's funny. Okay, that's interesting. Shit. So we need a fence then for the pig. Put it next to the chickens. Okay, so I just want to make sure bike doesn't catch on fire. Probably won't because it doesn't crank over, but just make sure no leaks. Okay, no leakity leak from that side. That looks good. Oh, sweet. Thanks, honey. Yeah, I'll call her in a couple minutes right after I'm finishing up this bike here. Having too much fun with this Honda. Honda's kind of yeah, don't get too many blown up Hondas all the time. Okay, I just want to check that, make sure no leaks at the fuel injector. No, looks good. Don't see any leakity leaks. All right, cool. Fuck it, let's put this thing back together. I can go like that. Battery voltage. Battery's already dead. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got electrical problems and we got a blown engine here. So it's kind of what's going on. Okay. So I got that. I think there's a little bit more. Let's see, we got some hardware here. This thing had like a lot of stainless steel hardware. I think there is a collar. Here we go. It's a collar for the gas tank. So there's kind of like a procedure to put the gas tank back together. Pretty straightforward for the most part. I think these might have been on one side of the bike. And then, see, I want to say it was these washers. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and go right here. I will text you later in a couple minutes. Okay. Sweet. Can I get this out of the way? So we're going to need this. see, I could have sworn. Might need this. I might have to go grab my other tool. I don't need these. Kind of put these away for right now. I'll get a little bit more organized. Okay. 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 And let's see what else. That was pretty much it. Then I know this bracket right here. This went that. Pretty sure that was these right here. These shorter ones. So I still need that 10 millimeter. Oh wait, hold on. That doesn't make sense. No, it has to go. Yeah, no, it has to go like that. A little tricky right there. Okay. So let's see. I forget. I think. See, I pretty much got the bike all back together. Just have to think. Okay, those were for the sides right there. Yeah, those were gonna be probably these longer ones right here. And then I think. Let's see. Time to go get those other pieces. Okay. So pretty straightforward. I'm gonna say this went, kind of just tucks in where it doesn't mount right here. Like that. I'll just go. I see. I think it went like. There we go. That slips into place. Oh, slipped out of place. Okay, so that goes like that. Okay. I'll go kind of like that. That one gets locked in place. this one. Boom, right there. And that one attaches right there. Boom, right there. Boom, right there. Okay, sweet. Take this one, same thing. Kind of tucks in. You forget to do this part first, you'll kind of struggle. You gotta almost take off this whole back section to get this part in right here. Okay, that slips in. We'll go. Okay. Nice. Okay, so can essentially just slam this thing back together now. Everything should be basically originally how it was. And this piece, this goes right. How's this go? Oh, was I supposed to put this under first? Oh yeah, it was. Okay. So it's a good thing we didn't strap anything down yet. Pull those off a little bit. Okay. So these are probably gonna be some short ones. Go ahead and go with these. Or they can be covered. Could be these 10s right here. Oh, that one's kind of fucked. So let me put like Loctite all over all of these right here. Yeah. Do this. Little anti-seize. Kind of put them by hand. So that. Okay. All right, sweet. So now I'll probably take a couple of these. These are mainly going to go on the top right here. Then looks like some longer ones here. shoulder. There we go. Okay. Okay, and then there was also that one right. Got one right there on each side. I feel like there's one more hidden one too. You got the side shrouds right there. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Let's see what else. So we got a bunch of these little guys. Forget where else did we have some. So for sure, one right there. I think I had to use one of my little special ratchets. What else? Huh. Interesting. What other panels did I take off on this thing? No, there's 1, 2 right here. But where'd those other ones go? I thought there was like 2 of them on each side. Maybe I was mistaken. I have to loosen something else to. What were those extra ones for? Interesting. Let's see here. See, that's what happens. You start taking stuff apart. Or were those just, I can't remember if those were extra that the customer had given me, because I know that I didn't take off the seat or the battery originally. The customer dropped off the bike. They tried taking it apart themselves. So maybe there wasn't any other hardware that I can see here. No, I don't think so. Just those right there. Okay, so yeah, maybe that's it. So these are right here. Those kind of go right there behind the fork. These ones go right here. It's kind of tight. I don't know why they put they literally put Loctite on all of these. Like, I don't know if these are original. These are stainless steel. I don't think the bike comes with stainless steel fasteners. Okay. Let's go ahead and just buzz these on. So These ones I will hit with a ball end just to make things a little easier. See if I can reach. Nice. Okay. Okay. Very nice. So we're like 90% done here. Okay. Solid. Okay. So that's pretty much it. The seats I got those in the garage. So this bike's pretty much back together. Yeah, I don't even want to hit that starter button there. Everything works except for the bike doesn't turn on. So it is what it is. All right. So that's pretty much one bike put back together. All right, guys. So I think we're going to call it quits. Let the battery charge on the iPhone. We go ahead and get this bike back to the customer. So appreciate everybody, following me through, staying in the chat. Looks like I got a pig I got to go round up here. Got a loose pig. Got to go get him. But yeah, that's it on the CBR300F 2015. Pretty much did all checks, fuel pressure, compression, bunch of static and dynamic electrical tests on the starting circuit and charging circuits. Ultimately determined that the engine is seizing and locking up, and probably bottom end bearings are shot on this thing. So yeah, if you guys just found this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We do a lot of, just random bikes. Might have one that you own. Just all depends on what's dropped off. That's, and if it's an interesting bike, interesting job, we'll go ahead and make a live on it. This one right here kind of fits the category. It's a more popular CBR 300F and has some pretty major damage. So yeah, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. If you have any questions, hit that comment box and stay tuned for the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.